All right, guys, I'm back. We're going to finish up this video, and I think I know what I want it to look like. I'm going to go with this. So we got a couple things to do. Enlarge the pumpkin, put a stroke around this guy, and make a cloudy background, and finally play with some text. So it's actually pretty easy to do. So we're going to start with the pineapple. Command T. Going to enlarge it, holding down Shift so it stays within proportion. And I'll bring it back up kind of to its original size because I like this idea of it being like, edge to edge almost. All right, and hit Enter to lock that in. Okay, a beach image is going up on top of that. And we're going to make him, go back to this and look, we're going to make him into like a little postcard looking thing. So maybe I'll hold down Shift and shrink him down a little bit. Now there are some layer options that you can have, and one of those layer options, let me zoom in, is to put a stroke around an object. And to get to the layer options, the easiest thing is to go kind of over here-ish on the layer panel and just double click, because there are several hotspots on the layer panel. The first one is the eye, which is the visibility. The second one is the thumbnail. The third one is the name of the layer, so I can double click on this and change it if I wanted to. And the last one is over here where there's really nothing. If I double click on it, I get my layer styles brought up. Now what I'm going to do is go down here until I see stroke and select that. Now just selecting it isn't really enough. I need to also click on the word so my options pop up. And I can do things like increase the size of the stroke. I can decide to make the stroke position on the inside. I'm going to choose outside for this one. I can make the size kind of be whatever. And I got the color. I'm going to go with white. So I'm going to go up here, and pure white will almost always pop up once you choose kind of like a close to white. Off-white pops up. I'm going to choose pure white. And I can choose something slightly different, like maybe a grayish color to give it some, just make it pop out a little bit. All right, and I'll hit OK. So I'll move this to about 10 pixels, and then I'm good to go. So that's ready to rock. Next thing I'm going to do is turn on my flower. There's my flower. So turn on the visibility of the flower. That's pretty easy. But I think I had a shadow on it. If you notice, there's a shadow going around this flower here. So let's get a shadow put on it. So it's a layer style effect. I double click on it and move this out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to go down until I see drop shadow. Make sure you don't just click on this, click on the word drop shadow so you get your options up. And I can play with things like distance. You can see the shadow kind of coming out some. Can mess with the spread. Can mess with the size, which is how much it fades out. So from here, you're just going to kind of play with it until it looks good to you. I like it right about, there. Well, let's make it easy. 20, tab, 20, hit tab, 30. Ta-da. All right, I'm going to hit OK. So now I have a shadow on here. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is my postage stamp. You can see my postage stamp right there. So I'm going to turn on the postage stamp. You can see it's over here. And, well, hello, I'm on the wrong layer. There we go. And you can see it looks a little dark. Well, that's because this has had an overlay blending mode attached to it. So I'm going to move him over here. Maybe I'll rotate him just a little bit so I can see more of him. That looks cute. And now I'm going to play with my blending modes. Pretty sure that one's an overlay. Nope, not an overlay. Try screen. Nope, Multiply. Nope. I'm going to play with these until I get to the one that looks like that. It might be an opacity thing also. Nope. No. It's not screen. Ooh, it's color burn. Okay. So send it to color burn and then lower the opacity maybe 70%, 60%, somewhere in there or more. Oh, wow. Okay, let's try 50%. That looks pretty good. All right. Now we're going to, let's get that blue background on there. That blue background's pretty cool. So this is what you do for that. This is a really cool thing called rendering clouds. And that's actually the name of the process. So what I'm going to do is get a blank layer right here between background and pineapple. Okay. And on this, I need to look at my color picker. I want to choose a white background and a sky blue foreground, or they can be flipped around. It doesn't matter, but you want the colors that you're going to have pop up here, blue and white, they need to be on your color picker. And then I'm going to render clouds. So the cool thing about this is you go to filter and you go to render and you go to clouds and it literally makes clouds. Look, I'll turn these off. That's what it makes. Looks like clouds. It's just a weird, cool thing that Photoshop does. Okay, we are almost done. I'm going to go to Hawaii and turn it on, and I'm going to show you how to make a gradient here going from orange to white. Guess what it is? If you said layer mode or layer style, you are correct. So there's a lot going on here. First things first, let's put a stroke on it, and we'll make that stroke color be green, kind of a cool tropical neon green. Maybe lower this down just a little bit. That looks good. Then we're going to do a gradient overlay. These are my gradient possibilities. And I want to go from orange to white. So right now it's blue to white because that's my main option because that's my foreground color. Now I can change that by simply clicking on my foreground color. Oh, I got to get out of layer style. I'll hit OK. All right, so I click on my foreground color, and I'm going to pick a nice orange color. Then I can go back to my gradient overlay. Notice that it says FX because effects have been added to this. To get back to that gradient overlay, I just need to double-click on the word gradient overlay here. Click on my gradient, and now look, that first choice has now gone to orange to white. And now I have the orange to white gradient. Isn't that cool? All right, last thing is to add Island Paradise. So I'm going to go to my text tool. I'm going to draw a text box. I'm going to let you guys do this part on your own. Type in Otto is the coolest! Exclamation point. Now you're going to have to write Island Paradise. I'm just kidding. And let's get that centered. And here's my character options, so I can increase my size now. That's too big. There we go. And we'll go with that color, orange. Now let's go with that green that we had. Okay. There you go, guys. That's it. Make sure you save them in the right spot. Make sure you take notes on blending modes, take notes on layer styles, and get them turned into the turn-in folder. That is it. See you later.